Hi, Greg the Brickitect here. It's a new week and we have a new build from the Lego Build-A-Book More Amazing Vehicles. This is build number 6, simply titled Dune Buggy. Its design notes say it has a roll cage, rear V4 engine, a bull bar, exposed shocks, big rear wing, and spotlights, and also features a hinged rear axle, which is really hit or miss. I'll be showing you that. In terms of complexity, it's a 2 out of 3, functions 1 out of 3, and pieces 2 out of 3. So let's take a look at this thing. It's a little unfortunate where this build falls in the book. The last 3 weeks have been awesome builds, and now I come to this and I'm a little disappointed. I don't know if it's just because of how great the previous builds have been, or it's possibly because I've already built the Lego Dune Hopper, which is a review that I've done before, and it was a much better Dune Buggy than what this is. But this had some good qualities, but a lot of stuff I really didn't like about it. During the whole time I was building it, I was just kind of not really feeling this build, and you'll have to see if you agree with me on this. I'll start off by showing you one of the coolest things about this, and this is one of the neat building techniques that they try to introduce in each of the models, and I can appreciate this. This whole thing's built upside down. Typically when you build a car, you wouldn't have the studs facing downwards, but this is how this one is. And it was really surprising to me when you started out, like the first step was putting all these on and doing the tiles there, and then all of a sudden you start building on this side, and I thought, that is kind of cool, but then things sort of started going downhill from there. I'll show you the front end. I like the headlights on the front, and then it has the spotlights, which they talked about in the design notes. But here's where you kind of get into the bad things. This is really a flimsy build. Like, this kind of moves up and down, but it's broken off so many times on me just in building it that I was really sick of the way this all went together up here. The side pieces, it kind of works like the go-kart did from the previous builds that I've done that are similar to this. You kind of just paste these things on the side to give it a little bit of structure and to have it kind of fan out a little bit towards the back, and it works well for this build. The one thing that I really don't like about this is this wing. This is another flimsy part of this build. You can see it kind of wanting to break away right there. It really doesn't like to sit on there, and I don't like that. And then also the rear suspension, which this is the whole function of the thing. I just don't understand that. I like the way it sits like that, but there's really no suspension to it, because if it hits a bump, that should play the other way, but instead it's like this, unless you hit a bump and it goes down, and the whole engine's kind of sitting on that. So I'm not liking that at all. I don't understand why they built it like that, but the engine looks nice. I mean, that's one positive of it, and the top of the wing looks good. I like the shape of it, but the whole back end of this thing is just a mess, other than the fact the way they attached it, which was kind of cool, and I can kind of just rip that off like that. And so you got the front part and the back part, and they just kind of snap in, which that's nice, but just don't like the back of it at all. I always like to show the side profile of these builds, and again, this vehicle looks good all the way up to the engine part. Once you get back to the engine, that slant that's on that just doesn't look good. I also don't like how flat the wing is. I kind of wish that was tilted up towards the back, but that's impossible the way it's set up. I do like that you can see the front shocks, which that was a nice design note, and I like the way the headlights look from the back. So if they would have just redesigned the back end of this, like starting right here, if we could just rip that off, which we easily can do, I think it'd be a lot better. So next I'll show you the interior and what's all involved in that. There we go. I'll just rip these off since it's so easy to come off anyway, so you can see inside there. And the whole thing is just breaking. This would be great for a drop test, because the whole thing would come apart. As you can see, there's a seat inside there. You got the blue back, as always in these builds. Again, that's upside down, which is kind of cool. This is the part that started like this, and then you flipped it over. You got the steering wheel with the standard tan dashboard, and then the seat is also the same as this on the top and down inside there. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but that's about it for the interior, and that's to be expected from Dune Buggy. There shouldn't be too much there. I'll just break this whole thing apart. I mean, this is what I envision this thing looking like, just destroyed. So that's build number 6 from the Lego Build-A-Book More Amazing Vehicles. This is a bit of a disappointment, but again, you have 10 builds from this one book, and there's going to be a couple that are flops. This and the chopper, to me, were the weakest so far, but there's been a lot of good ones. And speaking of good ones, next week I'm building the forklift, and I'm really looking forward to that. That looks like it's going to be an awesome build. So you'll have to come back next week and check that out. I thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.